I want to demonstrate a few of the things about Transit, how it works, what it brings to the table, and importantly, the main selling point, the policy gate, how it stops and intercepts traffic going to the LLM and from the LLM and makes sure that it's both private and safe to run in your environment. So what we have here is we have a lab, a big old lab that I have in my environment. It's got 8 routers and multi-area OSPF, BGP with multiple autonomous systems up and running, but somewhere in this lab, BGP has just been broken. You know, a junior admin or even a senior admin, it could be anyone, came in and misconfigured something somewhere, and I've just been paged at 2:30 in the morning to figure out what's going on. So what are we going to do about this? Well, what I'm going to do about this is I'm going to flip over here and I'm going to launch Transit. And it tells me there's a new version ready to install. Watch how quickly this does. I just click the button and there we go. That's how long it takes to patch your version of Transit. Anyways, that's not the point. Here we go. So in Transit, I have these devices here on the left-hand side. We're going to go ahead and just double-click to log into them. Again, these credentials are stored in the operating system's key ring. This isn't a text file on disk where those credentials are stored. And now I'm connected in. As you can see, there's no context here loaded on the screen. There's no commands that have been run yet. So what do we want to do? We want to say we have a problem with BGP somewhere in this environment. Find the root cause and propose a next step. Now, I can fire this off right now. I can make sure I'm using, a different model if I want to use GPT-5.5 or Opus. Sonnet usually does pretty good at these things. So I'm going to press enter here to send off the question, and you can see there it is. It says, I'll start by reading the scroll back from all 8 devices simultaneously to get a broad picture. This section in the middle, that's the scroll back. That's where we see. So it says, let me pull show IP BGP summary from all these devices. Now, here's the thing that's going on right now. The policy gate has kicked into action. The first thing is the LLM has proposed a command. And before I even get to choose if that's okay, it has to pass the policy gate first, meaning Transit will stop it from trying to do configure terminal or write memory or some sort of reboot. It'll stop it before it ever even gets to me. Once we get to this point where it says show IP BGP summary, that's saying the gate right here has allowed it, but it's still up to me to approve it. Now, this is on a per device basis. This isn't a batch approval. So I have to approve it for every device. So I will. I'll approve it. I'll approve it all 8 times. You'll see when it gets to router 8, the command will fire off in the terminal, and there it is, and there's the result right there. This, of course, has updated the scroll back, and now the LLM is getting this result. But notice you can't really see it because it went away really quick. It says clear picture emerging, 2 broken sessions. Let me dig into these. So now it's looking on these 2 specific devices, and it looks like, in my case, I know this is between router 4 and router 7. So I click approve to run on both router 4 and router 7. Let's go ahead and jump over to router 7 here, and you can see. Critical finding. R7 sent an open to R4, and it's not working. So it now proposes show run for the section of router BGP. I'll approve that on both devices. And in just a moment, root cause found. Exactly right there. The neighbor configuration was broken. Here's the second issue that's coming up. And here's the proposed fix right there. So imagine now if I'm at a level where I can jump in, validate that this is true, and fix the configuration myself, I'm empowered to do that quickly. If I'm not, I'm able to give a really good summary of what's gone wrong in the ticket where I'm escalating this up to the mid-level engineer and a proposed next step. If I want to, I can say, give me a code block to copy and paste using backtick, backtick, backtick text, like so. I'll fire that off here, and it'll actually give me this right here. It'll show you exactly what needs to be looked at and changed right there on those lines. Now, you might be wondering to yourself, like, what happens if I say, make the change for me? And press enter right here, asking it to actually change the configuration. Immediately, I can run read-only commands through these sessions. Configuration changes aren't permitted by the policy gate. And even if I press it and say, try it anyways, like so, it'll say, sure, I'll attempt it, but then look what happens. The policy gate blocks it anyways. So the LLM tried to propose the configure terminal change, but that was blocked by the policy gate. I never got to see it in action. Now, for some more fun, I'll do show running config. The whole running config is now loaded in here. And that includes, right there, the secret. So if I say read the scroll back, what just happened? That means that this particular device or these particular devices, the LLM, may now have just gotten access to the secrets that might have been in the configuration. But this is where the policy gate also steps in. We can now say, what is the secret password for the user Knox on R7 and fire that off right here. What does it do? I can't share that. The password was redacted from the session output, and I won't attempt to retrieve the credentials. That's right. Before any credential gets sent to the LLM, whether that's a password for a user, a BGP authentication or OSPF authentication, some sort of radius or TACAX configuration or setting, even JWTs, SSH keys or things like that. All of those are redacted before they ever get sent to the LLM for privacy reasons. And take it a step further. If for whatever reason you need to export this scroll back out to a text file and send it to support or something, you can right click right here and do export scroll back like so. I'll hit export and I'll just save this to my desktop like that. Now let's take a look. I'll open this text file like so. We've got the whole scroll back here, but look at this right there. Look at that. See what I mean? Let's scroll in. We can zoom in nice and big right there. Redacted Cisco username secret. Just like that. The transit policy gate is really the thing that we're talking about here. It's not just SSH with an AI agent. It's all about being able to investigate and find root problems without changing the system itself or leaking your own company secrets or personal secrets to the LLM.